Again. Are you able to hear it now? Um, I don't think so.
You're about to. Are you able to hear it now? Now you can hear it. You just took it out.
Wow, that's weird. I think it's because it's on the. I think it's on the iPhone microphone. That's why. All right. Yeah. So we weren't able to get my mic like recognized. So we're just going to use the regular iPhone microphone for this, for now. Where's my... Okay. Okay. All right. So I got into a bit of a contentious conversation on Facebook last night with a woman who sought to denigrate men who seem to understand the concepts that... You can read the comments too. You can interrupt me to read the comments.
I know it's I think those comments are on your other channel.
No, this is on TSP. We're on TSP.
Oh, because it's not showing up on my... I just see my comments. This is weird.
I know. I set it up for TSP.
Yeah, more technical difficulties. We got this. We're professionals. Totally know what I'm doing. Maybe.
All right. So there was a conversation that I got into. You know, this woman put up a captured tweet with a man explaining the concept of a woman understanding that a man's public image is important. And the premise was that, if a man is out in public and for whatever reason he doesn't have access to funds or anything in that moment, if the woman that is with him, she won't directly pay whoever is seeking payment at the register, or the if you go on a date, then you're talking about the waiter or the waitress, right? What he was saying is a woman who is looking out for the public image of her man is going to give the money to the man first. And after giving the money to the man, let him pay, because she knows the public perception of that man, because he's not being some sort of negative opinion of him. So the point that I made, the point that she was making is that men who are in this situation are dusty, or they're broke, or they're worthless. They're worthless and they don't have any value. And I pushed back on that, and I told the situation. Can you hit that light up there? Because maybe the lighting will be better. The one in the middle? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I can reach for my phone.
Huh?
No, I have it.
No, I wanted the lighting to be better for the stream.
Oh, for us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So not much better, but it's still better. So I use the example of the last time me and Mrs. Evil went to go run a late night errand. Late night meaning, around 9:30, 10 p.m. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me. Oh, they got the new ID Buzz. Oh, check that out. That's cool. That's really cool.
Is that supposed to be a cab?
No. That's the press car color. Wow, this guy really didn't want to let me go.
I mean, if you have that color here in Manhattan, I'm gonna assume a taxi.
Nah, that's the press car color for the VW ID Buzz. But anyway, back to the conversation. So I basically told the story about what happened the last time I was in a position where I didn't have cash, but cash needed to be given, right? So you were with me when we had to call roadside assistance,
Right.
and we waited a really long time for roadside assistance, and that really sucked. Really fucking sucked. But when we got the roadside assistance and they took the car, we had to then get in an Uber. Now, the Uber was ordered by BMW's roadside assistance. And the stream is still live, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, BMW's roadside assistance called an Uber for us, which meant that since BMW was ordering the Uber, I could not tip the driver in cash. I could not tip the driver in the app with my credit card, which is what I love to do. I love to tip, gig workers, because gig workers do not get paid enough. And I know this. So, in me knowing and understanding this concept, I wanted to make sure that that I tipped them, but I was the one without cash because I normally only carry metal or plastic, right? And I'm always asking you, hey, do you have cash, right?
No.
But what I'll look to do is, if she comes out of pocket with the cash, I'll then hit her back, by some electronic means, so she's made whole in those situations. And in this situation, she had cash, I did not. So I thought that it would be prudent for me to ask her, hey, can you, give this guy a tip? And I think the tip was as much or almost as much as the cost of, right? Like when I tip heavy, you already know.
Right.
So,
which is why I didn't even take the money out. I just said, here's what I have, and you decide what to give him.
Right. So when we got into the cab and we got near to the end of the ride, what did you do?
I opened my wallet. I showed you what was in the wallet. I didn't want to take the cash out of the wallet. It was more of, hey, take a peek inside at these 2 bills, which I think it was 2 bills.
Yeah, I think it was a 10 and a 20.
10 and a 20.
Yeah.
Just to make it discreet. But part of the discretion is just also, for me, default for safety. Because I'm just not going to pull up. Not that I thought that the cab driver was going to rob us, but it's just kind of ingrained in my brain that you're just not going to pull out cash like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed you what I have. And like I said, you tip them the amount you want to tip because you tip larger than I do. But that was your choice. So I trusted you. I was not concerned with whatever you took out of my wallet.
Right.
I don't even remember what you took. Just, I showed you what was there.
For the record, I chose the 10. What happened after that?
You gave him the 10.
But what happened before I gave him the 10?
Oh, I don't remember.
What happened before is that instead of her handing him the $10 bill, she handed me the $10 bill.
Oh, yes, that part.
And why do you think that happened?
Honestly, it's not something that I thought about. I just did it. I don't, like, now that we're having this conversation, I understand the context, but in that moment, I wasn't thinking, me as a woman must give my husband, the man, the $10 so he could be the one to give the money.
Right,
That's not what crossed my mind. It was just, I did it, and that's what seemed right.
That's what seemed right. Now, here's the funny thing, right? We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago. We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the the public image of men concerning the Will and Jada Pinkett Smith thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that, and um, one of the things that I applauded you about is that your wifely instincts, because you grew up in a single parent household, the same as I did.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same, but single parent, right? Yes. And one of the comments that I made that I thought was just crazy important is that you did not get to see a healthy relationship between your parents, but your wifely instincts are on point. And like you said, you it wasn't like, this major thing where you tried to make a big deal about me making the payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
This
yeah, it's not it's not just you. It's not just you. Um, it's it's just, her instincts are really, really good. Mrs. Evil's instincts are very, very good, and she understands the value of blank, right? So there was another situation about a month ago, right? Somebody was getting married, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I missed the handoff. I was staring off. I'm not used to this. I'm staring off in the distance, listening to you. Apologies. That one I understood from the other context of you, my husband. You need to show that you are the one paying. I absolutely understood the role and what needed to be displayed.
Yep.
So instead of assuming that we were on the same page or that the correct action would be taken, we talked about it beforehand. It wasn't a long conversation. It was a quick couple of sentences. I think it'd be a good idea if you offer, and I take nothing out of my wallet whatsoever. I don't touch it. And you're like, I already know what you're talking about. I got it. And
why did you because I wasn't the one that brought up the conversation. You did.
I brought up.
Why did you bring up that conversation?
I brought it up because the person involved who would witness it, it was very important for me to have him witness that dynamic of you being the one to offer to pay or to provide the funds versus the reverse.
Right.
Mostly due to our history, and we are trying to build a new healthy relationship with him.
Right.
And I want to make sure that with this new relationship that the two of you have,
mm-hmm.
that I reinforce it.
Exactly.
Because I would like the two of you to be really cool
mm-hmm.
in whatever capacity, and maybe eventually you guys text each other about the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
One could hope. But I needed what happened?
Are you getting comments over there?
No, it's the same one.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not sure if
I had to switch the filter from I had it on top comments and I had to put it on live chat. That was it. But yes, so I very much understood that for that particular person, the consequences of who is the one to pull out their card and offer to pay.
Right.
And I had a feeling that he would decline the assistance because that's just the type of person that he is.
Right.
But I wanted, if the opportunity came up for us to at least offer and be prepared to offer, we understood who was doing the offering.
Right. Oh yeah. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce gave me the ellipsis to let me know that the stream is not. The stream is not.
We're not just talking to ourselves like two weirdos in a car, even though we are two weirdos.
When I approached him, did I pull out a Discover card? What do you remember the card that I pulled out?
Yeah, the Amex.
Yeah, I pulled out the Platinum Amex.
And I walked away.
Yep, and she walked the fuck off because she understands this unwritten dynamic between men, especially between a man and his father-in-law. She understood that because she has good instincts. She understands that there are traditional things between men, but also between in-laws. You know, there are certain unwritten rules that we all have to adhere to, whether we like them or not. It's just something that we understand. And she knows that if she's the one offering to pay, that would damage my public my public image. She understands that importance. And so while I got this random chick on Facebook who you can tell by the way that she talks, because you know I made it very clear that I paid the money back on the back end, and you know when she was trying to denigrate me, she made sure to mention that. But when, oh, you're dusty, meaning that I'm broke and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're calling me dusty. You know nothing of what we got going on, except that I can tell you that we're doing really, really well. And I know that if I asked you what
your we're out past curfew.
Oh yeah, we definitely are. If I know that if I asked her what her husband's opinion would be, there would be no response, because you know she's one of these bitter single black chicks, right? You know that. Now, not all black chicks are single and bitter, but she's one of the ones that are, and you can tell by the way she talks. And she's so quick to call me dusty and you know, you're broke and you're this and you're that. And I'm thinking to myself, I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. My valet asked me which luxury vehicle do I want to take for the day. That's what he's asking me at 6 o'clock in the morning as I head off to go get my paper. But you're going to talk this shit about me being dusty while your bed is cold every night because you're an overweight, bitter, and you guys know the stereotype, and she perpetuates it. Let's just put it that way, right? But there are women that understand the value of making sure that a man's public image is upheld, because there are a lot of non-quantifiables that go on. You know, there's different things, there's different dynamics. There is a dynamic between the man and the waitress. There's a dynamic between the man and the waiter. You know, the burden of performance is always going to be, the burdens of performance is always going to be on the man. And we men, we understand this. And there are some women who also understand this. And what I want to tell you guys out there, especially here on the TSP platforms, is that there are women out there that are worth giving rings to. And it's not about whether she is willing to pay on the date. That's a different conversation. Although, you know, you can kind of make that case as well. Hey, you know, you don't want a chick that's always got her hand out but nothing to offer.
You can also keep beds warm with hookers, bro. No need for wives, girlfriends.
If you like the comment, just touch it on the screen. And
okay.
Pop up.
No, it's a little easier for me to read from here. Because if I try to do that, I'm going to get.
But here's the thing, Bruce. And the thing is, like, I'm not going to argue directly with what you're saying, right? But the thing is that there are a lot of men out there who are like you that don't see any real good examples of women that are worth marrying. So they're like, listen, you better stay in your fucking lane. Listen, we're going to be doing a lot more videos like this on the channel here on TSP, myself and Mrs. Evil, and you see Captain Paul and his wife. You're going to see a lot more conversations with us bringing the ladies on. Now, me and, Mrs. Evil number 2, maybe I might be able to convince her to come on.
Sometime
But the
this
second
lifetime.
wife, she's not likely. She's not likely to be cool with appearing on the podcast. But we want you guys to see.
But she'll at least give her opinion in the background, so we could always share.
My bet is such an asshole. He's such an asshole. And so it's really I did this this live stream on purpose. In my drop top convertible that I pay for every month in full. We're not in the Mercedes tonight. We're in the BMW. We're in the Z4 M40i 2022, right? And I want you guys to understand, myself as a guy who's 6'3", I lift heavy weight. I look like I lift heavy weight. And I just get better looking as I age. An overweight, lonely woman like that understands that she has no chance. She has no chance in hell with getting with a guy like me. So she has to make these excuses for why she's undesirable. She has to make these excuses. And guys with money, guys with access, guys that aren't hurting for female attention, they have to find some way to tear those guys down so they can feel good about the fact that they're unmarried and unwanted. Not necessarily because of what they look like.
More variety with hookers too. It's not so bad, bro.
Hey man, but some of us men who are not dealing with hookers, sometimes we do the variety thing too, right? So, but the thing is, again, like it's really important for you guys to see what a wife looks like. Am I Will Smith? Am I?
Oh God. Anyway.
Thank you.
Oh.
I everybody loves this car. Yeah, fatties do attract fatties, but it only goes one way. A fat guy will take a fat chick, but a fat chick only wants a fit guy. A fat chick wants a guy who's fit like myself, but she doesn't want a guy who's unfit like herself. But body positivity and all that, right? She's beautiful fat, but he's not, right? But I wanted you guys to see what a wife looks like and what a wife's instincts are. And there are certain women out there who are going to get access to wedding rings. And there are certain women who are not going to get that access. And I want you guys to understand that it's not about whether the woman pays or not. It is about how she intends on interacting with her man and whether or not she wants to uphold him in the highest regard in the eyes of other people. Yeah, we're gonna agree. We're gonna agree on that every day, Bruce. Every day, 100% of the time. When I'm on a dating app and I see a chick is overweight, I block her. I don't even want her to even look at me and swipe right on me. Hey, Xenon, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping by. Overweight women, you get none of my attention. And a lot of you guys are out there swiping on fat women because you don't believe that you have any other options to get laid. And what you're doing is you're inflating the ego unnecessarily and making them think that they are more desired than they actually are. Guys will sleep with an overweight woman. A poor man will marry that woman. A man of means and circumstance is not going to. There is a reason why Lizzo has a $30 million. There's a reason why Lizzo has a $30 million net worth and she has a cold bed. And the only guys that she can get to fill that bed are guys that she has to pay a lot of money to be around. She has to pay, I'm not going to say that these guys are broke because these guys aren't broke, but they're relatively broke compared to her. She is not going to get Captain America. She's not going to get Karl Anthony Towns. She's not going to get Drake. She's not going to get men that have a lot of options. She's just not going to get them.
I'm going to attempt to read this without getting carsick. Probably have to talk about how we're going to do this without me getting carsick in future streams. I'm going to have to start taking
Dramamine?
Yeah, Dramamine. Fuck. All right. Okay. Sorry. So from Bruce.
Yeah.
So you guys are in an open relationship then? Talking about using dating apps and shit. All the many wives.
I mean, we're open side, but I'm also, you know, even though like I'm the only one that's like really out there, I'm very, very, very about the women that I choose to get involved with. Which is why I don't really get involved with other women too often. You know, I get, you know, probably as much as any guy does. I can't really, you know, quantify how much attention I get. But if a woman isn't on the wavelength that I need her to be on, I don't get involved with her. So I'm a bit pickier than most other guys are. You know, get involved with a chick because of what she looks like or her willingness to have sex. So, you know, but the thing is that, you know, me and mine, we have honest conversations about, you know, what we want and what we expect out of each other. And, you know, the roles that we are willing to perform for each other. Are you going to get in this lane or not, sir?
Xenon is doing well, but he's having some lat issues. And right.
Yeah, I've been having some biceps tendonitis. So actually I hit the lats in the gym today. Today was a vertical pull day. Well, I did do some horizontal pull as well. But the focus was vertical pull today because, you know, I got to have that big back, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the thing is, you know, we've had conversations about the different ways that we protect each other. Sometimes it's just as simple as me going outside and walking with them when they go outside at night. You know, there are two women that are together, and, you know, two is better than one, but people still try them because, you know, one is obviously small and Hispanic and the other one is small and Asian. So, you know, you do get, you know, you do get, I wonder if I can medicine. He says, what is the point of marriage though if it's an open relationship? Why not stay unmarried? Because we are committed to each other. Whatever I choose to do physically outside the relationship matters not. The bond that we have continues to get stronger as time goes by. So it is not just an open relationship. We have a very strong relationship that has gotten stronger over the last 16 years.
Blind Bat is looking for $2 from hookers.
He's Dusty.
From hookers. He's not asking it from anyone else.
Yeah, he's Dusty. And we love him. We love Dusty Blind Bat around here.
He's our Dusty dude.
So, you know, it's not just a relationship. We've been together and we have been loyal to each other for 16 years. Oh, you got on here?
Yeah.
Nah, that's the entrance right there. Oh, you were going the opposite direction. Right. I get it. I'm dumb. I'm stupid sometimes. Right? Girl jealousy from wifey. In the beginning, was it a jealousy issue for you, or was it a feeling of inadequacy? Because that's what I remember.
I've experienced both. So, in being in an open relationship, you are not exempt from feelings of jealousy. People in open relationships can feel jealousy because it is a natural human emotion. The difference is that we talk about it. And I express when I'm feeling, if something makes me feel jealous, if it triggers a jealous feeling, if it triggers something that I feel might be interpret as a rational or an irrational response, I will just let him know straight up, this might sound unfair.
Right.
This is just how it makes me feel. When
Right.
you said that, this is my gut reaction. This was my initial reaction.
Right.
And maybe sometimes it's kind of a harsh reaction. It's happened before.
It's usually not.
Usually not, but I've had some times where I was just like, I didn't like it. I don't even remember what those situations were, but the point is, we talked about it, and I did not, or tried to make sure I didn't hide that. Otherwise, if I could speak English,
can I send you to run in there?
I will run very quickly. My last one. Otherwise, it will fester and turn into, that jealousy will turn into something else, and will turn very ugly and cause fights and blah blah blah. I'm going to hurry up into the supermarket before they.
If you can grab the 8-pack of Gatorade and the raisin bread, or whatever else.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to grab a few things.
Yeah.
BRB.
Yeah. So this is something that we work on a lot. Making sure that we take care of each other.
Wait, we got this. Oh my God, they get so much awkwardly get out the car.
We're going to talk about another way that she makes moves to protect the public image. We're going to talk about how she presents herself to the world, by the way that she carries herself, by the way that she treats people in public, and most importantly, by the way that she dresses. We're going to talk about that too. So when she comes back, we're going to have that discussion. So bear with me. I'm definitely going to have Clinks edit the shit out of this video. We're going to keep it as a live stream, and we're going to chop this up into videos. But I want a lot of the women out there that have these issues with men or what have you. You can have whatever issue with men that you want to have. But if you are looking to not die alone, as Kevin Samuels will put it, there are going to be certain approaches that you're going to need to take. And, trying to denigrate and trying to tear men down, other men are going to see that. And your chances of being able to have somebody to grow old with, regardless of your physical fitness, your chances are going to be much lower if they see that your baseline, your base state of being is to try to be as disrespectful to men as possible. Men are going to see that, and they are going to go away from you. If your titties are big enough, they're going to suck them. But then, that'll be the end of that. There's really not going to be a whole lot of you getting long-term legal access to their resources in life or in death. That's just the way it is. So, but Bruce, there's, we have a dynamic, and we've worked on it, we've honed it, and I make sure, as a matter of fact, it was a really crazy conversation that me and her had the last time we were in this car when it ended up on a flatbed. I was talking to her about how this one woman that I was in love with, Captain Paul, hopefully we'll be in the lab editing this shit too. We were talking about how this woman that I was in love with for over 2 decades, how I had to stop simping. And, I asked her, I said, what if, we had a sexual relationship in the past where her coming to me with all her problems, would that change the dynamic? And she said, not really. And then she goes on to say, she says, you don't get involved with a lot of women outside our relationship. But if you have sex with her after all of that, I gotta trust. I gotta question your judgment. And I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's right. Like, why would I give her that if she don't even show me the respect enough to give me a call, but twice a year to figure out, how I can tape up and bandage up her broken heart from some other asshole, you know? So, I really felt what she said there. I really understood that. You can't, you can't give your energy away to women that aren't worth it. And if you're in a relationship like mine, how am I supposed to look my wife in the face talking about how I feel about this chick? And she's like, of all the chicks that you could be out there fucking, why are you giving her that attention? I was like, you're right. You know? So in some ways, my wife is also like my best wing person. She kind of, like, because the thing is, like, I tell you guys all the time, stop simping. I tell you that all the time. But this particular woman was in my blind spot. She was in my simping blind spot. And, I got to plug this phone in because it's dying. Got to also make sure that I still have access to the microphone. All right, the microphone's still on. Good. We're just not going to have the phone die during the stream this time. um, she was just like, yo, you know, if you're going to get involved with women outside the relationship, they better be worth it. And I'm like, you know what? Roger that. Right now, does it mean that I don't love that other woman? No, I still love her. I do. I still love her. And I know that nothing is ever going to change that. I know that for a fact. However, I can't give her that kind of energy for me when I've got women. I got 2 women at home that show me the proper love and respect on a day-to-day basis, and they're not looking to use me for whatever I have to offer. And I think that it's really important for you guys to see relationships like mine. There are women out there that exist. You don't have to rack up enough money so you can be in a nursing home. You know what I mean? I know that Bruce is probably, coming with these comments tongue in cheek, but there's a lot of men that actually feel this way. There are a lot of men who are like, you know what? I would rather be dusty and broke by myself than run through the family court system and run through the the child support and the custody battles. There are people who would much rather deal and be by themselves and not have those problems. They would much rather do that than deal with the alternatives. But the thing is, these guys don't really. A lot of us guys are not paying attention to the women who are worthy of our attention. You guys are only paying attention to the negative examples of what females are. Notice I said females, not women, because women provide positive examples. When people who just female human beings who just take and never give anything and think that they're entitled to things. There are women out there like that, but we here on the Talking Shit podcast, myself, Dr. Evil, and Captain Paul over here, we believe that there are women out there that deserve the attention. Now, did I use this Dizzy broad for YouTube content? Yes, I did. But I don't want the focus to be on her. She is the cautionary tale. And for women out there watching this, it is important for you to understand that you need to be one of the women that is calling that draws positive attention, because a lot of these men out here, they're not just taking the ugliest, the fattest, the nastiest attitude because they don't have access to anything else. Men are not doing it at the same rates anymore. The marriage rates are through the ground for a reason. So, here on TSP, we want to make it very obvious that there are really good women out there. We need to stop focusing on the women that give women a bad public image. And isn't that really the theme of this live stream today? It's about public image. And here she comes. The public image is important. And, there are women out there that understand how to protect the male public image. Yeah, it's open. There are women out there that know how to protect not only a man's public image, but also her own. You're hearing a lot about, the boss bitch and the bad bitch and the boss babe. You're hearing a lot about that on the internet. You're hearing a lot about those, but you're not hearing about the Mrs. Evils out there. You're not hearing about, Captain Paul's wife, and the the unlock button's right here.
You have longer arms.
You're not hearing about the women. You're not hearing about those women. Bruce asked, "Dying is shitty either way, bro. Someone there and now, does it matter that shit does? Because until you're actually gone, you have to experience life. And if you listen to anybody with any bit of sense, they will all tell you, to the man and the woman, that a life lived alone is really just it's just not. It's just not.
I just bought what I could fit in my little arms.
How many loaves of raisin bread did you get?
2, because I could only hook them onto these 2 fingers. I was like, maybe I should grab more, but I didn't want to be that person who has like random shit falling on the floor.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was like, well, we can come back in a week or 2.
Right.
Not a biggie.
Actually, I need to go this way because we need to go towards the gas station.
What I missed?
Yeah, so we were talking about public image, and we were also talking about how women's public image also needs to be protected as well, by the way that they carry themselves. So, we've talked about this in the past, long before I had a podcast. You and I have talked about the implications of how a woman dresses in public. And we had conversations about, because remember, I've always said that I will never tell you what you can and cannot wear outside. We established that a very, very long time ago, right? That I was not going to do that, because that's just not
Captain Paul says, fuck those kids.
I know somebody that would really agree with you on that. He probably will be appearing on our podcast very soon. I just got a great idea. We are definitely going to run with that. I got a wonderful idea for a podcast. All right. Okay. So we discussed very many years ago about how you dress and how you want to be perceived in the world. Now, we also understand too that, well, let me ask you this. Do you think a woman that dresses provocatively around her man, does she lower the threat of violence to that man, or do you believe she raises the threats of violence towards that man?
Raises.
Why do you, in what situation could you fathom a woman dressed provocatively in the street with or without her man, how that could cause a security risk?
Well, I view her dressing that way with her man as, it's going to sound terrible, but this is this particular podcast. Almost like like dangling meat, like just dangling like a carrot. I shouldn't use meat, but if that's what came up, like you're just dangling this.
Captain Paul
prize
says raises as well. He says it raises.
Yes.
Okay.
Where you're just dangling this item, this shiny item, around the street, showing it off. And there are some people who would want to take it. Like, if you had a shit ton of money in your pocket, you're gonna pull it all out as you're walking down the street? No.
Right.
If you have really expensive jewelry, for sensible people, are you going to flash your most expensive jewelry as you're walking down the street? To make that emphasis, sensible people. Mm-hmm. So, I view the woman in the same way.
Right.
When it comes to flaunting.
Right.
And dressing in a certain way.
Right.
At least when it comes to security. You get the point that I'm trying to make.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, because of your instincts as a woman, as a wife, right? Mm-hmm. Your instincts as a wife, you understand that concept, right? Mm. So we talked about this in the past. If you want to tell the listeners what there was. Well, I'm gonna pump this gas. You know, because I'm a man, I'm supposed to pump the gas, right?
Okay, bye. I don't want to do it.
No.
Easier. Fuck that shit.
But when you and the other lady are,
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But that's later. But I still have more than half the gas tank, so I didn't have to do it today.
Yeah, well, this car has less than half the gas tank.
Conveniently forget the next time I use it. No, I probably need to do it next time.
But I need you to drink more Dunkin' Donuts so we can get more of that 25. You're gonna drink 5 cups tomorrow?
Don't tempt me. I'll fucking do it.
So she's gonna tell you, you know, when we first got together, she had a so-called provocative dress. What was it? Like an algorithm. There was like a formula that she had, right?
Top versus bottom.
Right. So you kind of let them know about that, and you let them know why you came up with this.
Well, chop, because this is gonna be quick. You know, I talk quick. Pump the gas quickly. Don't like to be on the spot.
Like Joe Budden. Pump it up.
Hurry up, sir. What he's talking about is my preference for dressing. If skin is exposed, and what I mean by skin is either if I'm showing off my legs or showing off arms and shoulders, I'd rather do one or the other. It's just a personal preference, and I've been like this, I don't know, forever, as long as I can remember. Where if I am dressed in a way where most of my shoulders and upper body is shown, I'm not a cleavagey person. I don't like showing off too much cleavage, just personally. But if most of the upper body is shown, I'm more likely to cover the lower half of my body. And then the opposite, if I am showing off more legs because I have a skirt on or I have on shorts, I'm more likely to have the top covered up. I don't like having too much of the top and the bottom exposed. It makes me very uncomfortable. And I've been like this since before I met Dr. Evil. I mean, like, if it's 1,000 degrees outside, I'm probably going to the beach, so that's the exception, because that's just what you do at the beach. But yes, I don't know. I'm normally a very shy person, so I don't like to show off too much in general. And when it comes to dressing, it's one or the other. But whichever half of my body is exposed, I just don't like exposing too much of it. I mean, I'm fucking sitting here and, you know. I mean, that would be cool too, Captain Paul. Captain Paul says he walks around naked.
In the street?
In the street? Cap. I would like someone to record that because that would be hilarious. We shall find out.
Yeah.
Thanks over here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. Yeah.
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 Although this summer it'll probably be a lot more arms and shoulders. English. Arms and shoulders being shown.
Lozano. Yeah, Lozano. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. 6 months. Thank you.
Oh,
that big body Beamer is serious. That's a 21, right?
Yeah.
I have that same paint job on my Mercedes.
We're discussing cars.
Yeah. I have a Mercedes SUV.
I got an M440 and I wrapped it silver grip. Like a matte grip.
I love that, man. I love it.
That blue, I wanted to wrap my car blue, the 240.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find the right blue.
This is from the factory.
Yeah, I see it. I'm like, it looks really good.
But it might be like a Z4 exclusive, though.
Yeah, 6 months you had to wait.
Yeah, I had to wait 6 months for this. And there was a stop order on it. Some of my options didn't come because of the part shortage.
Right.
But I ordered it in like September, October. I got it in February. When they told me I should have gotten it in November.
That's good. I mean, yeah, the chip shortage is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what can you do? Yeah. But I know that you're out here winning in these streets, and I salute you.
Thank you.
I love to see another black man winning.
That's why I said I was happy I was able to talk to you about the color. You know, sometimes the skin tone may get a little.
Yeah. We as black men, we understand this.
Yeah, that's why I said I had to tell you the color. I love that color. So I love it. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
so
Car talk.
so beautiful.
Yo, I can tell you one thing. When I drive this car, I now exist to white people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, white people
That's how I feel.
acknowledge
That's how
my
I feel
existence now.
about 440. That's how I feel about 440. And they see I'm young and they start asking questions. And
Yup.
like, what are you doing?
Yup.
I talk, whatever. Yeah, that's how it is. Even
Yup.
the dealership, they go crazy.
Yep.
They're trying to figure it out. Like,
Yup.
what do you do?
Yep. What I do pays more than what you do. that's always the right answer.
Yeah, you gotta say it real articulate.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it articulate.
Because they assume that you're a drug dealer or whatever.
Or you're a rapper.
Yeah.
Music industry or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yo, like, keep winning. Keep winning.
You too.
Keep winning.
You outside. I love it.
Yes, sir. All right, we back up in here.
I didn't want to disrupt your car chatting.
Hey, man, see, Captain Paul understands.
Yes. He walks around naked at night. I missed the OnlyFans part. Oh, and that his Camry is God tier. I'm just the messenger.
That was for you.
You got Sports Plus?
Yeah. This is the M40.
Yeah. I got Sports Plus. That Sports Plus is serious.
Yeah, it's nice. But I don't like to put it on at night because I'm a douchebag, but I'm not that kind of douchebag.
You got that gas though, Sports Plus. You got an Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Nah, I'm on YouTube and Twitter.
You on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a Twitter account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me hook you up. Also, you can follow my podcast, the Talking Shit Podcast, because I'm actually live on my podcast right now.
You live right now?
Yeah, I'm live right now.
Maybe he'll also get a personal training client. Possibly. We will be on our way home eventually. This is our adventures when we go outside. And it's normally me sitting here waiting until he's done. Yes. It most definitely is. And the bad thing is, I didn't bring snacks. And that's my fault. I should have brought snacks and some water. I should have known better next time. Snacks. Showing on the YouTube page. We brought business cards.
We're not too much.
Hello. What are you doing? Oh, it's so cute. I love it. This is adorable. Yes, he did just. They're chatting. And now he's describing what you guys talk about on the podcast. Which is why I just sit here quietly and wish I had snacks. As I let him work his magic, because that's not my strength. Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Yeah,
too.
you look just like my phone.
Yeah.
And I say just like my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Showing up for pictures now.
Oh, that's right. My pictures are on the phone that we're using the live stream.
Good job, babe.
Huh?
You need it up on a Google Drive or something.
Yeah, probably. Because I want to show you like my, I've got the metallic white. It's almost like a pearl color.
Really?
My GLE
I was saying I'm getting this car wrapped too.
This is a big car. And with your car is longer than my SUV.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
This is not even its
My
loudest.
SUV is 189
It's-
inches long.
No, someone loud's about to drive by. And this is our own neighborhood, so yeah. Sleeping at night wasn't fun.
You know what I'm about to say, right? I cannot stand the long bus. You don't like the I can't stand.
I didn't like it at first. My uncle actually showed me this car. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, the one nice thing about where we live now,
Even the info group, I ain't gonna lie to you.
the windows block out
You see it in person, you be like, all right.
all the outside noise. In our old neighborhood here, you could hear when people were arriving to their house because they would blast their fucking music as they were driving down the street, as if they had to announce that they're home. Worse. So I'm very happy how quiet it is where we are now. And now they're talking about the BMWs that have the big buck teeth. Because he loves bringing that up anytime he can. Oh, you're welcome, Captain Paul. Have a good night. I shall pass the warm and fuzzies to him. I'll be here in a minute.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
It's still great though. Yeah. So I had to get my just from stress because I work so much.
Yo, my co-host on the podcast has the same problem. Captain Paul will tell you the same shit. But I work with him too.
He said good night. He's logging out.
Is that what?
He said good night. He's logging out.
Oh, Captain Paul is up out of here. Yo, I'm gonna hit you up and hit you up my number. We're gonna do something. All right?
Appreciate you. Stay safe, bro.
Keep winning with that big body beamer.
Good night.
Yo, I love to see people. I love to see people winning. Yeah. Captain Paul says I need to head out, keep recording, but yeah.
I was.
Oh yeah. He was talking to you. Yeah, he was talking
narrating
to
the
you.
entire your thing.
Hell yeah. And yeah, you know, it's you know, it's what we doing out here. You know what I mean? Let's go into Eco Pro because we're not going to be assholes. Oh, let me back up. This guy needs to come this way. Yeah, so you know, you guys got a good idea of you know what she does to not only protect herself in the streets, but to protect me because she understands that you know there are some really aggressive people, and of course, you know, we men, we have this language of conquering other, you know, that's how we kind of look at the value of a man is if he has the ability to fuck your woman, you know, and you know, she knows that she doesn't want to bring any noise to me because, you know, it's not like she's going to immediately divorce me because some dude, you know, jumped me or shot me or stabbed me or something like that, you know? You know, she's not going to, you know, immediately, you know, leave me because I lose a fight or something in the streets. But a lot of guys think that they on that kind of time. You know, a lot of guys think, you know, oh, if I punk this guy and I make him look bad, you know, you know, maybe I can get his woman. And the thing is, a lot of times these guys don't even want the guy's woman. They just want to know that they can take her. You know what I mean? They want to know that they can, you know, that they can interrupt that because, you know, that's how they show, you know, their value as a man in their mind. So, you know, it's important, you know, for women to understand, you know, yeah, you want a guy that can protect you, but you also don't want to be creating negative situations if you can avoid them. And this is what this wife does. You know, when I'm out with the other wife, she's the same way. You know, one of the things that, you know, we had a little bit of an exchange before we left the house. And I was telling you that there was something that I particularly liked, right?
Uh-huh.
Remember I was saying that?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's really funny because when we go outside, normally you can't tell that, you know, these kind of attributes are there. Because you're not out there trying to advertise your goods to the world. And I think that is something that, you know, some women don't really, maybe they understand, but they don't care because their ego is the most important thing. And of course, their ego is going to be tied to what they look like and the external validation that they get from other men. And this is something that, you know, people know around the world. And there are some women out there that don't care to advertise their goods for the world. They don't need to be on Narcigram showing off their, you know, their breasts. They don't need to be showing off, you know, their behind or their fake behind. They don't need that because they're good with what they have at home. And it's usually because the guy that they have at home is taking care of business, or if they don't have a guy, they're trying to put themselves in position to be able to attract a guy that has some kind of value to the world. And guys that have value generally are not, putting up with, the bad bitch and the boss babe. They're just not putting up with it. And the thing is, there are women out there that can be boss babes. She's, a person that's out there, she's a professional. She's a real professional, but she's not out there with that nasty ass energy that would make her undesirable or otherwise just difficult or impossible to work with, either at home or in the workplace.
I was telling them I should bring snacks in the car. So when you're
Oh
out,
yeah, I'm fucking hungry.
No, it was for me. So when you're out promoting the channel, I could sit here and have a snack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible license plate. I'm not even gonna read it.
Linnea?
No, the yo. Other plate.
I didn't see that because that's
It was terrible.
That's
It was
a custom plate
yo-yo-yo.
too.
3 yo-yos, but the last yo
Was a lot of O's.
really long.
Oh my god.
Terrible. We're like, how many O's can I fit on this plate?
Yeah. And it's really funny. This chick, she really thought that she was telling me something, that she was telling me off. That she was, telling me about myself, and that her opinion of me is so important. And the funny thing is like my quality of life is many times better than yours. Like, you can call me weak because I don't have a black woman. You can call me dusty because I didn't because I don't carry cash and I only carry metal and plastic on my person, and my woman doesn't judge me for stupid shit like you would. You can try to denigrate me for all of those things, but in the end, my life is awesome and your life sucks, and no amount of trying to judge us for how we take care of each other is going to change that at all. Like, that's not going to change at all. Because we're going to keep doing very, very well, because that's what we do. Yeah, that guy is an asshole. He's making a left-hand turn from the right lane. And he's the one honking his horn, and he's getting mad. Like, no, you're in the wrong lane.
I mean, as long as they take care of their shit somewhere else, I'm gonna go on. Right in front of us.
It's fucking stupid.
If you're gonna cause an accident, do it after we have passed.
Yeah, that was some asshole shit.
I don't want to be involved in that.
I'm really tired of these people that only care about themselves. Really, really tired of it.
Oh yeah, I had entered the bridge from the other side.
Uh-huh.
Terrible.
Yeah. Nope. I mean, it can be bad, this entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge, but
I think I'd rather this one.
yeah. Yep.
Unless you are going straight down Tillery Street and you could just drive right into the bridge. No, sir. That's not Tillery. You're turning on from Tillery. The other street, I forgot which street that is, where you could just drive straight into the bridge. That's much better.
Yeah. But you see how I took that, right? Like, I learned my lesson. That other entrance is so obscure now and so weird, I don't even bother with it. It is a little bit of a brisk evening, but it's still a nice nighttime topless drive, I think. I mean, you tend to prefer cooler air than I do.
That's nice. Just keep eating my hair.
You said what?
I said hair. Okay, no, it's cool.
Oh, like, is it the wind?
Oh yeah, my hair's just blowing everywhere.
Oh. I mean, the wind deflector in the back is supposed to take care of that.
Nope. But it's coming up. It's okay.
Stay in your lane, buddy. I wonder if that exhaust noise is fake. But yeah, we we're always looking out for each other, protecting each other, and that's why this is why 20 years from now we'll be celebrating our 36th anniversary, because she knows how to be a wife, and she's definitely a person that you're not going to be trading in for a younger model, especially when a lot of these younger models don't know how to be wives and not interested in being wives. And that's just what it is. So you have anything else to add about your instincts, certain things that you think about?
Not at the moment. I'll be a little better at coming up with stuff as we do more of these.
Yeah.
Hope that wasn't too awkward.
Yeah, we had some audio issues at the beginning.
And yeah, I'll have more stuff later. I'm also sleepy.
Yep. So I want to thank Mrs. Evil here. I want to thank Bob, Bruce Bobstetter. Thank you for coming through. Blind Bat, he big friend to the channel. Captain Paul, definitely go check out episode 39 of the Talking Shit podcast. You know what I mean? And a special thanks to Mrs. Evil for participating, because I know this is not the easiest thing for you.
Yeah.
Much love and respect, to all y'alls out there in internet land. We'll catch you in the next one.